Things turned up here. Here we go. Trying to get with the program. I'm asleep. So, how is everyone this morning? I hope we're all doing well and wonderful. This video, I thought I was going to make it long. Well, first I was going to make it reasonable. We all know that, right? I was going to make it reasonable, but it didn't work out like that. So, we're just going to do it the way that it goes, and if it goes, it goes. Okay? A lot of people asked about the 411 and about the shame and what needs to happen with them. Good morning, Linda. It's real simple, guys. We have to be understanding and knowledgeable before we can protect ourselves against things. Good morning, Rita. I really want to talk about this and just kind of like get it over with, okay? Because I put the information out there and not very many people are accepting of the information. So, good morning, Greg. Good morning, David. I'm just going to spend a few moments here and say good morning to everybody. Thank you, Rita. I'm so glad you joined. I was going to say thank you guys for joining. I'm so grateful to you. I really need to put this out there too. Good morning, Bat Mom. People, if you are on my Patreon, I am so busy and I apologize, okay? But I really need you guys to email me and let me know. Good morning, Earth Angel. I need people to let me know what they've signed up for and what they're interested in starting out their lesson with, because that's the kind of teacher I am. I don't just go back and pick something that I know you're going to be absolutely bored out of your mind with. I need something that you're interested in so we can start the lessons there and then evolve and go forward. Good morning, Sabrina. So I want people to help me kind of get a handle on that because I'm so busy, okay? And I am really, really grateful to you guys for joining and signing up for Patreon, because it really does help me put the information out there, because I know that if I teach you about it, then you in turn are going to teach someone about it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Also, too, I'd like some information on feedback, I guess, on whether or not you guys want me to put a shout out in these, to you. Because a lot of my patrons want to stay hidden because they don't want the world to know what they're interested in. So if you want me to just use your first name, if that's okay, let me know. Because I really am grateful to you guys, and I don't know a way to say thank you and to show that I'm grateful to you. That being said, let's get on with this discussion, okay? Because whatever we discuss is going to end up on the other channels. So you all are stars. So be prepared for that. I just think it's so ridiculous. I'm sorry, you guys. If you want information, go come to the person who has the information. Don't go roundabout. That's the way that I am. In 411, we were talking about the Shay, okay? And I want you guys to understand, you guys really need to think in the age of this planet, okay? That's what's going to figure in. Good morning, Tad. I love you too. I want people to understand that this planet is 4.5 billion years old, okay? It's really foolish to think that we are the only ones that have ever been here, Good morning, Steve. It's real simple. They've come, they've gone, they've come, they've gone, and some have stayed and adapted and found ways to stay living here, okay? And The Shay are one of them. They live right beside us in the dimension that's right beside us, okay? So it's easy for them to come back and forth across the barrier into our realm, okay? So that being said, people are going to be dealing with these guys, and they've been dealing with these guys for a long, long time, okay? We just have forgotten. We don't have that knowledge now. Good morning, my sky. Yeah, I'm from Portland. I know. People dealt with these beings, found out that these beings were powerful and were dangerous, so they moved away. They didn't want to deal with it, you know. But Heavenly Father found a way to make it so that we were somewhat safe, okay? Because He gave us the ability to pick these guys out, and He also gave us the ability to have our gut instincts on them, okay? So He helped us that way, but you can only help someone so much. We have to do the rest of it, okay? And what has happened is we've forgotten how to deal with these guys, okay? And I really want everyone to understand these guys have been here for a long, long time. Good morning, Paul. I'm so happy you're here. The shining ones are what I really want to talk about, okay? Because the Bible makes reference to them. Aboriginals make reference to them. Just about every society in the world makes reference to these guys. These guys were, you know, really, their stature was huge, okay? And that goes back to what it says in the Bible about there being giants, okay? They were taller than us, you know, like 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall, 11 feet tall, okay? Ancient man, you know, ancient peoples did not make statues, you know, of giants, you know, giant size like the Egyptians and stuff, to glorify himself or his chiefs, but only to represent gods, okay? And to them, the shining ones were gods, okay? They had a very light skin that was described as whiter than the snow. You know, it said they were like the sun. They shone like the sun. And I found that really interesting because when you go back and read these descriptions of these people, you know, you find out that they're very detailed, okay? Very, very detailed on what they're doing and how they're explaining them. You know, when Noah was born, his father thought that he was one of these shining, the tall ones. And if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to call them something else. I'm going to call these guys what the Native Americans called them here, and that was the Amusaves. The Amusaves were interacting somewhat with the people, but the people were afraid of them, you know, and they say straight out, they had ships that they flew in, and they lived underground. You know, they went through a mountain, literally the mountain. They would fly right at the mountain and it would disappear as it got to the mountain. So the people assumed that they lived underground, okay? But in reality, what was happening is they were hitting that barrier and going through to the other side, to the other realm. These guys have so much to say, and I don't even know how to say it. Our own countries, our own leaders, everybody have known world has known forever that these guys were here and that we were subject under them, and that they could have control of us if we let them. So I almost am thinking that my own personal viewpoint on this is the fact that we put them there. We put them there to keep us safe. And now, within the last, I want to say 1,000 years, they've really started coming. Good morning, Chris. They've started crossing back into that barrier and using us, okay? And I think there are certain agencies that are allowing them to do this. And I think they're allowing them to do this as a way of experimentation on us and to keep themselves I guess supplied in information. Good morning, nobody. I'm so happy you're here. I do have a couple emails from people real quick that I need to get back to, and I've had a very gracious offer for someone to help me with this. So maybe we can get these going and these videos going and make them look better. Anywho, the shiny ones, when they come, from my own experience with these guys, they have the predator effect. Okay, and I think that's another reason that they were called the shining ones, because they were able to do this predator effect, I just need for everyone to understand how dangerous these beings are, okay? And our government or agencies, whatever you want to call them, know this, okay? And I want to throw this out there because everybody always says I'm such a conspiracy theorist. That's right, nobody. But in truth, every time I say something about conspiracy, it ends up being pointed out that it's true. So I'm just going to throw this out there. Right now, with everything that's going on with the COVID, has anyone noticed on the television that you see these ads for the national parks? Good morning, Renee. Telling us, we need you up, we need you to get out, we need you to go camping, we need you to go hiking, we need you to go do these things. I have found it so interesting that they've started putting that out with all of the people staying home and staying away from each other. There's no way for them to get them. The shining ones can't reach out and snatch them up. Because why? Because there's nobody there. So now they've actually started advertising. And I feel like they have to do this because they've made deals with these beings. These guys are using us. Okay, I have to disagree a little bit there because the Shay are not nice. Okay, they're not here to help us. They're not. They're sneaky, they're nasty, and I think that people are not aware of what they do. Maybe you're right, my sky. I don't claim to know everything. Maybe my brain is just, I have more to learn. I don't know. All I know is that I share with what I know right now. And what I know right now is that these guys are using us for experimentation and other things, breeding stock. And I don't know what more to make people understand. walking down a trail and you see something, your dog's running off ahead of you. I agree, Rita. They're not waking us up. They're not. We are waking up, but they're not waking us up. Remember what I said about Heavenly Father giving us the ability, the intuition, and the ability to wake up. It's time. So there are clues for us, just like when you're a kid, getting ready for school, there's clues for us. So it's very dangerous. We have to take this one step at a time. Thank you, Rita, and thank you, Nobody. That's right. Discernment, powers and principalities. Think about that one. If you're not familiar with the Bible, you need to read that one. Look up that phrase, powers and principalities, because these guys are not nice, and they are mentioned straight out in the Bible, telling you need to be aware and how they're going to they're going to trick you and connive and deceive. And that's what these guys are doing. Think about it. If you're able to, that's right, Nobody. If you're going to trust what you're seeing, okay, then you need to trust what you're seeing. And what you're seeing as you're walking your dog down a trail is something come out from behind a tree that has a predator effect going on, snatch your dog up, climb up into the tree and sit there and eat it. And you're not going to be able to tell yourself, oh, that's normal. You're just not going to be able to tell yourself that. These things, these beings, these creatures have the ability to appear as human, but they are not human, okay? And if your gut's telling you, if you're going to go with your gut and it tells you, hey, I'm dealing with this and this just feels really wonky, I'm not comfortable with this, then you need to take that and you need to believe what you are experiencing, because that's your experience and nobody can tell you what's going on. They can't because it's your reality. Okay? And I know people are sick of hearing this about the world. But we make our own reality to a certain extent. Okay, we have a hand in it. And there again, I know people don't want to hear it, and Big Bully has just walked up. Nope, I'm ignoring you. You just came in from outside. Go away. No. I feel that if you're going to be around these things, then that's fine. They may hunt in a group of 1 or 2, maybe 3, but no, they don't usually. They lay down. They wander, come through, and it's very easy to overpower us as human beings. It's very easy. They have the same abilities, a lot of abilities that face eaters have. Okay, so you have to remember their brain is a bit more advanced, so they figured out how to use that to their, for their own benefit. Okay. These guys can disguise themselves to look however they want to look. So they want to choose humans and make humans, maybe they're mad at a specific group of Steoma or a rogue or a male or whatever. Lay down. That is there. They are there to, don't you do it. Lay down. These guys can appear how they want to appear, okay? So a lot of them, what simpler way to put off blame onto someone or something other than yourself is to make yourself look like that other thing, and then have reports of it going back, okay? And the Seyama are very smart, they're very intelligent. They know this. So when these guys come into a specific area, they're going to clear out. Even though they know that they're going to get the blame for it, they have to clear out because they can't fight these guys. So they tend to just leave. And then, unfortunately, whatever happened in that area gets blamed on them. Okay? So these reports of Stema taking people, as I've said before, they don't tend to do that unless they're low on breeding stock. And I can't believe they're that low on breeding stock now, that they've had to revert back to techniques that they've used thousands, well, I won't say thousands, I'll say about 500 years ago. So, no, I'm just not comfortable accepting that belief on that. And I don't care what anybody says, I will argue with you on that point. You have to remember, Steyama know who Heavenly Father is. And good morning, Priscilla. He gave us the ability to help ourselves, okay? So we need to not only help ourselves, but we need to help the other beings that are here that need our help, okay? Like the Steyama, okay? They're not overly friendly. They've learned to hide, and think about that. I mean, seriously, to hide yourself from humans, okay, and other predators, to the point where people believe you're non-existent. That should tell you the level of intelligence that the Seyama have, okay? Good morning, Deborah. It's just so hard for people to understand why they do this. Well, think about it. If you had an invisible predator walking around doing these things, and you couldn't stop them, but you had to learn to overcome or go around the situation, then you would come up with certain things, and that's exactly what the Seyama have done. I am going to put a link up in this video because there is a video out there, and I want people to go watch this, okay? Because when it first came out, people thought it was just the biggest hoax there was. But unfortunately, my site having been hacked and taken down, I did have someone analyze it. They were able to look at it and analyze it. And thank you, Super Manny. People, I had this guy look at this video, and he enhanced it to the point where he was able to pull it still out. And in pulling out the picture on the still, you actually got to see the Shay. Many, I have lots of dogman encounters, unfortunately. But right now, I want to talk about this and get this out there because I don't want to beat a dead horse on this. I want to get this subject covered. If you take the books for what they are, which is knowledge, and that was the only way they had to pass down that knowledge to us aside from being verbal, Okay, there are a lot of verbal stories that were passed down as well. Thank you, Sabrina. Yes, that's what I've said. Prayers are going to get you through this, calling on the Lord to help you. Yes, I actually do that. I have a stick that has that in it. That's right. That's right, nobody. We are able to use the protection of this earth to protect ourselves from these guys, okay? And think about this. If they were that important that just about every community on the face of this earth talks about the shining ones, then we need to listen to that. These guys need to be sent back to their realm. Renee. Yes. Renee brought up a very good morning, Shelley. Brought up a very good point. The metallic sound that you are hearing is their deconstruction of the wall veil that was going on. There are a number of areas. It's not in just one area, okay? It's not just one area. They're using it to deconstruct from the protection that was put up to keep them out of here. Okay, if you banish something, you really have to banish it. You have to name where you're banishing it to. You have to be very specific on where you're going to banish it. Okay, you can't just throw it away, because I get called all the time to clean this up, and it's really, really bad. You know, a strange thing, a funny story is Eugene, Oregon was a place where I couldn't even wait for the bus without somebody coming to tell me, hey, I have a problem and I need you to fix this. That's how bad it was. Banishing something is one thing. You need to be very, very specific on where and what you're banishing, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm just sending you away. That doesn't work. So yes, it can come back if you don't do it right. Okay, and that's called gating something. It's closing the gate. There are other beings on this planet that know about the Shay and know what they're doing and do everything they can to avoid them and stay away from them. Okay, so yes, they keep an eye on them as well. This is not a good thing, you know. I mean, these are not everybody get along. That's right, Rita. Everything has to be done, and I don't care who you are, but everything has to be done through Heavenly Father. It does, period. Because if you don't do this, then you're not going to have the power to do it. Okay? I'm sorry, you're just not. You have to draw upon the power. You do. You know, and it tells you that in the Bible. It tells you that in the Quran. It tells you all of it. You can't just take it on yourself. You have to be dependent upon Heavenly Father for that, because He's given you the ability to understand that they're here and how to deal with them and how to feel. But He knows that you aren't a divine being like Himself. We're humans. We're not divine. So He is there, standing there, waiting for you. Say, hey, you know, reach out, take my hand, and I'll help you with this. You know, it's like the old 80s dances, where they put their arms out, and do this shot, and it continues on like a giant snake. It's like that. You need to listen to what he's telling you. Yes, he does keep his angels there, but you still need at some point to call on them. I just need people to understand that. That's right, nobody. People need to understand that we are who we are. There is a piece of us that is Heavenly Father that lives inside of us and has the ability to kick these things' butts. Okay? Carry your iron nail. If you run into one of these things, as I've said before, immediately, I don't care. You know that you have to be able to stand up to a bully, and you're able to do this. You know that you have to start saying your prayers the moment you see these. You have to take a step backwards and allow yourself to feel that fear, to feel that intuition kicking in, and then you have to dig a little bit deeper and override it and feel the calmness that's there inside of you, because that's Heavenly Father, and He's right there, and immediately start saying your prayers. Ask Him to protect you in the name of His Son. You need to ask Him to help you, and He's going to help you. Okay, I want you to back away from this thing. I want you to stay away from it. Once you reach a certain point, I need you to run. I really do. I don't need you guys to feel that you're overwhelmed and you can't do this. So I want people to step up and be strong. Lean on Heavenly Father. Nobody, you need to trust yourself. And a lot of people don't do that. They overthink. And I'm a big one on overthinking. When I was in school, I used to I would overthink on tests, and I finally had a teacher who was brilliant and told me something. You need to go with the first answer that pops in your head. He said, because I know you think about something and then you overthink it. And once I took that piece of advice, I started passing tests left and right, A, and it's something I've lived my whole life with. Now, I go with my very first gut instinct. He was right, and I try to instill that in my students. You guys need to go with your very first gut instinct on dealing with something, interacting with something. Because if you have fear, that's normal. That's human beingness. It's who we are. But if you can overcome that just for a second and feel that calm stillness in you, that's Heavenly Father. It'll help us to help ourselves, So make sure that you have the nails. Make sure that you know the prayers that you're going to use. I've posted up prayer after prayer on videos, and sent them there. You banish a demon back to the realm that it came from. That's right. Thank you, Rita. That's right. If you have fear, then you're not going to do this. You're just not. And that's why I'm telling you, go into the moment. If you feel overwhelmed, then acknowledge that you're overwhelmed. Pray to Heavenly Father immediately and start backing up to the point where you can run. Get out of there. Okay? I am not telling anybody to go stick around and go be friends with these things, you know. Good morning, Chrissy. Hi, Special Agent. People need to literally get a grip and realize what I've said all along. We are able to protect ourselves, and this is what we need to do. Certain shapeshifters are able to stalk people, yes. So I want everyone to do what I said, take under advisement what I said. Do not interact with these beings. If you choose to interact with them, then do so at your own risk. You know, I've got some people on here that are advocating at interacting with them and doing whatever. That's your choice. But I'll tell you what, every time that I've heard of someone interacting with these beings, it always ends up the same way. Something crappy comes out of it. They never get the effect that they wanted. They never get what they want. But the shapes sure do. They get what they want out of it. Okay, so it's kind of one-sided. I think people really need to realize that before they interact with these beings. You can end up as food. You can end up as breeding stock. You can end up, for whatever they have their intents and purposes, you know. Thank you, Special Agent. You know, yeah, nobody, they do. People need to understand that these are not your friend. I don't care, you know, if you want to advocate that they're the best thing in the world, that's on you, you know. But I will say this, if you're going to advocate that they're the best thing in the world and that they're kind, considerate, what's the Boy Scout motto? Thrifty, brave, clean, kind, and reverent, then go for it. Because that's acceptable in your reality, you know. I'm reading this. I need you to be real clear here that when you're walking the dog and you're out and about and you see these things or you feel them watching you, no problem, Napalm. I need you to walk your dog and think to yourself, start saying a prayer, okay, and ask Heavenly Father, please watch over me and give me discernment. Ask him. If you really want to know, ask him. Say, I can't see them. Can you please help me to see them? See where I need to be fearful of. See where I need to point my gaze. Because if you can't point where you think something is, I'm guaranteeing you that if you're out walking a dog and you're walking down a trail and you feel like something's watching you, pretty much you will turn towards the area because it's your gut instinct, your fight or flight mechanism kicking in. It's going to tell you, hey, look over here to the left because that's where I feel the strongest. You know, they love the trees, as I've said so many times. Trees are the best thing invented on this planet because it allows everything to hide in them. Okay, and you got to remember, these guys can camouflage. So if you feel, that's right, if you feel that they are there, then you need to look in that direction, pinpoint your gaze in that direction, and tell them straight out, you know what? I'm protected by Heavenly Father, and I need to be able to walk my dog and get through this. And he's going to stand there, and Heavenly Father is watching over me, and he's taking me by the hand, and he's leading me away from you. And just have whole faith. You have to have faith in the fact that you have the ability to stop this. Okay? Because if we can't stand up as in mass and say, I have the ability to stop this, then it's going to keep going on. It's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. But we do have the ability to stop this. You know, they come through the trees, they go into the trees, out of the trees. People ask me about that. I'm to the point. Yes, I do believe that. I believe it would help Shelley. You know, you need to tell them you do not want any contact with them at all. You know, and you need to take back. That's right, Francois. These guys do that. Dogs, animals, cats are so smart. I mean, really smart. They see what we can't see. And that's got to do with their gifts that they were given. So if your dog is focusing in on something, you need to leave. I don't care. Get past it. Don't run unless you have to. I mean, if you think it's one of these things, you need to run. Okay? And there again, it's not going to run. Anyway, we have a troll on here. Yay. We need to step back and say, that's right, Francois. If the tail goes down on a dog, you need to be really scared. Yeah, you know, I think that if you have guardians that are watching over you, that's one thing. But a lot of people haven't acknowledged their guardians. And for them to really help you, they need to have some form of acknowledgement. So I think today I'm going to go ahead and end this. And that's right, Agent Michael. I'm going to put the rest of this discussion up on Patreon. I'm just not feeling it with the trolls. Anyway, I love you all, and I hope you all have a great day. Good morning, Todd. Please be aware. Carry your iron needles with you, like I said. Nails, excuse me. If you want to reach out to me and talk to me, that's fine. I'm going to be contacting you today. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day.